The same question. How do you feel about the 2024 presidential election? Resulted in a mix of emotions for these Gen Zers.
Ooh, it's quite yikes.
Very conflicted.
Worried?
Apprehensive, but I'm also excited to cast my vote.
The one thing they say they have in common, none are enthusiastic about their options. From the economy to abortion, these young voters say they care about a range of issues. But for some, one issue tops the list: the ongoing Israel-Hamas war.
Like, all the issues that they're talking about are important, yes, but I feel like genocide's important. It should be the most important, above all.
The most recent Israel-Hamas war started a little over a year ago after Hamas's surprise attack killed 1,100 people in Tel Aviv. Israel then launched multiple attacks in Gaza, killing over 40,000 Palestinians in the last year. Protests of the war erupted across the United States. Here in the nation's capital, Gen Z protesters call on university and presidential administrations alike to stop providing weapons and funds to Israel.
Harris, stop the lie! You're funding a genocide!
The 2024 presidential election presents a new opportunity for these protesters.
We can use voting as a tool, we can use non-voting as a tool, and if it forces a party like the Democratic Party to think about, the genocide in Gaza differently, so be it.
1 week before Election Day, over 70,000 people gathered in D.C. to see Vice President Kamala Harris make her closing argument. Among them were protesters, giving her an ultimatum.
Until there's a ceasefire or an arms embargo, they're not going to get the votes.
I'm undecided at this moment because there are still a few more days for Kamala to put on her platform that she wants an arms embargo. There's still a few more days to stop this genocide before the election.
In the days leading up to the election, the race for president was neck and neck, with both major parties' candidates polling just under 50%, leaving protest voters the ability to have a significant impact on the outcome of the election.
Harris was impacted the most by these protest votes, with voters under 30 historically turning out for Democrats. But exit polls show that Harris underperformed and Trump made gains. Harris took less than half of the vote in Michigan, earning only 47% compared to Trump's 50%.
That's a 14-point drop from Biden's performance with the same group in 2020. National turnout among voters under 30 also decreased, with about 40% voting in 2024 compared to 50% in 2020.
But some young voters did cast their ballots, just not for Harris or Trump.
I think I have a really unique opportunity to use my vote to send a message.
Lily Elkind is from New York City, a deep blue stronghold. Elkind says she knows her third-party vote won't lose Harris the election, but could still send her a message that change can't wait.
There's pressure that it's not a given, that just because she's not Donald Trump doesn't mean that she can, get away with not pushing the envelope.
For others, not agreeing with candidates on every issue wasn't enough to keep them from voting.
I think that ultimately not voting or voting for a third-party candidate is just hurting other causes. And while voting for Kamala might not be helping the cause in Palestine, it's ultimately hurting less than voting for Trump would.
I think as much as I did sort of want a protest vote, I realized it wasn't that simple. I couldn't have been that selfish. I have a sister, I have a mom, a lot of my friends are women. Abortion is a major issue for me.
In Washington, D.C., I'm Bea Barbosa.